have adopted a schedule here for preaching at Grace, and for whatever reason, my turn to preach Sunday morning is always the fourth Sunday of the month. And so as we're doing these thematic preachings, sometimes come to the end of the month and I think, okay, what can I preach that'll be a little bit different? After all the messages that have been preached through the month, all the common things that you think of tend to get spoken about already. But God is good, and God helps. And as we think about restoration and what restoration means, we've heard many messages this month on restoration. In other words, we were here, we were saved, and we walked through our Christian life down the road, and every once in a while we look back and say, oh, wait a minute, I used to be there, and sometimes we need to stop and say, what do I need to do to get back to where I first love? Right. And yes, we are to grow, we are to change in our Christian life, but we also need to live in this world as we do it. And as we do that, we tend to rub up against things that are ungodly. We experience things that are not God's best for us, and that's when we need to reevaluate. I think I said before we came to Trinidad, I was prayer partners with the youth pastor at our Sunday church for 4 years. Originally we met twice a week, then we started meeting once a week. But in one of my quiet times, there was a challenge to set in front of a mirror. Now try this sometime, and it's harder than what it sounds. Set in front of a mirror, looking at yourself, looking into your own eyes for like 5-10 minutes, non-stop. Just gaze into your own eyes and ask God to show you what He sees in you. And it can be very revealing. And so we need to do that sometimes. We need to evaluate where we are in our walk with God and say, what do I need to change? And so that's what we've been focusing on this week, restoration. Getting back to where we need to be in our walk with God. When I preached on Wednesday, about 2 weeks ago or so, I spoke on the issue of restoration is not something that takes place quickly. Now, in some cases it can, but for the most part it does not. When we think of restoring ourselves back to where we are, it takes some time. After all, it did not happen overnight that we moved from here to here, and so the restorations aren't going to happen quickly either, in most cases. I used an illustration of, I think I used it, of restoring an old vehicle. They don't do it so much here. I think they do it every once in a while, but in the States, we got whole clubs of, usually it's men. Now some women get involved in it too, but this is usually a man thing, where they want to restore a vehicle, an old vehicle back to its original state, or turn it into a hot rod, they call it, which is like 80% original and 20% beefed up or whatever. And we have two friends in the States that are sent to church. Ron Mack is now with the Lord, but then Jesse Bly. Both of those men have restored cars in their life. And they buy the car, typically they'll buy the car and it's a piece of junk. I'm honest with you, a piece of junk, all rusted up, the paint's probably going on it, might be some holes in it or whatever. They buy this and they take it home and they spend an awful lot of time and money and effort tearing this car down to the chassis. And I mean down to the chassis. They take all the body frame off, including all the windows. They take the axles off. They take the tire, of course the tires come off with the axles. They take everything off the vehicle, and all that's left is the chassis, the frame that the vehicle sits on. Then they'll take that chassis and they'll sandblast it. If you're not familiar with sandblasting is a way to restore metal, to get rid of the rust and paint and anything off the metal. We use it, and I've used it in maintenance already to clean parts, where it's exactly what it says. It's sand that is blown out through a nozzle under pressure, and it just eats all the stuff off the metal. So when you're done sandblasting, all you got left is the pure metal. And if there's a hole or something, then they got to replace it. So what I'm saying is, they take all this time, and sometimes have to take the chassis somewhere to have the sandblasted because the chassis is a big thing. They bring it back, they paint the chassis, then they start to put things back together. And they'll spend a year, 2 years, sometimes even 3 years restoring this car back to the original state. They spend a lot of money. There's companies in the United States and probably around the world that sell antique or old car parts. And you can order them online and have them sent to your house, but it is not cheap. It is not cheap. And so they'll spend all this time, all this money, this effort to restore this vehicle back so that it looks original, or else it's a hot rod that they can, I wouldn't say race down the road, but basically that's the bottom line. And so when we look at restoration, it's not something, for the most part, it's not something that takes place overnight. It takes a while to do. Now with that thought in mind, think about this. Would you have the patience? I'm asking myself too. Would you have the patience to spend a year, 2 years, 3 years restoring a car back to its original state? I mean, for most of us, we probably get into it a month or two and we're all excited about it, we're going to do this, and then we see all the work that's involved to do this, and we say, no, wait a minute. I got other things I need to do with my life too. And so the car gets tore down and it stays that way. It never gets any further than that. Restoration takes time. Restoration also takes determination. And the same with us, to be restored back where we need to be with the Lord. It takes time. And it takes determination. We have to want to do it from the depths of our heart. We have to want to be restored back to God in the right relationship for it to take place fully. Many times I think we get ourselves restored back to God to a certain degree. We say, okay, I'm better than I was. And that's good enough. That's good enough. I can live with that. I can live with that. And see what the problem is, when we try to get restored back to God, the things that we work on first are the superficial things. The things that are right up here that people see. And so people see us as a godly man or godly woman all of a sudden. We think, hey, okay, I'm doing good, so I can put that aside. But the problem is, what really needs to be restored is deep down within us, at the core of our being. And so to restore that takes time to get deeper and deeper and deeper into ourselves and what needs to change. So we say, okay, I'm good enough, and we'll go with that. I'm better than I was, so we'll go with that. But is that what God wants? And the answer is no. God wants us to dig deep and to root out that which is deep within us and get rid of it. Again, it takes time. Restoration is something that is very difficult to do at times too. I used to know the illustration too of restoring a painting. There are people around the world that have acquired, let's put it this way, they have acquired priceless works of art in the form of paintings in a way that they shouldn't have it. All right, let's put it that way. And so they will put a painting, they will paint a painting over, say it's a Michelangelo painting. And so they don't want people to know that they have it, or maybe they're going to move and they don't want people to see it when they move, and they'll paint a painting over top of the original so no one knows what it is. And then later on, they will have the new painting removed so that the old painting is still there. Think about that. Think about what it takes when you've got a priceless work of art in a painting, and you take and put new paint over top of it to paint scenery or whatever it is, and then later on you want to remove that new painting and have the old painting still there, but not affected in any way. And that's the key. And so people, and there's people that do this all the time in the museums and stuff. They will go and they will clean that, they will take and meticulously pull off that new paint in a way that they don't affect the original painting underneath. Long process. Now, if you're like me, you go crazy doing that. That meticulous, long process I want my results a little bit quicker than that. This stairway out here, I was going nuts with this stairway because I wanted this stairway done in a week. Well, believe me, it took a lot longer than a week. But when Thursday came around and Israel was putting last of the paint, well, still needs more paint, but it was just a sigh of, it is done. Praise the Lord. And so we need to think about restoration as something that we need to do, but something that is going to take pure determination to be accomplished. And we talked about restoration many, many times throughout this month. I want to today to address restoration in a little bit different way. Praise the Lord, God has given me a portion of scripture to use that, yes, we're looking at restoration, but from a different perspective. Or maybe I should say different perspective, but in a different way. Turn to Psalms 23. Probably most of you can recite Psalms 23 by heart. We're going to read through it, and we're going to look at restoration, but not in the way of us restoring ourselves, but in a different way. And we'll see as we go through Psalms 23. Psalms 23 starts out, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Though thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." Gracious Heavenly Father, as we ponder upon your word, the portion of scripture today, Father, help us to see that you are more interested in our restoration than we are. And Father, yes, we need to look at ourselves, we need to examine ourselves, and we need to make changes so that we can be more Christ-like in our life. Father, the restoration that really counts is restoration that comes from you. Not what we do, but Father, what you do for us. Father, I thank you for this portion of scripture that is so rich and so full of meaning. Help us to understand the nuggets of truth that are in it this day in respect to restoration. Of course, in Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. A number of years ago, we were ministering here, but we were also ministering at Town Missionary Baptist Church, and I did a series of messages on Psalm 23. I think I may have preached it here, and I did it at Town. But I preached 7 messages on these 6 verses. And it was such a blessing to me as I spent the time studying out this portion of Scripture and getting deep into it and understanding. And I preached it from the perspective of a shepherd, how a shepherd looks at Psalm 23. I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to preach 7 messages today, believe me. I'm not going to do that. I can't see what the clock says, so I don't know what time it is. I'm going to go watch. But it is a nice clock. Don't get me wrong. But I want to look at this, Psalms 23, and help us to see the restoration that God does for us. And the restoration that God does for us, many times we don't even know we need it. We are too, excuse me for this term, but we are too dumb or stupid to know we need restored. Why do I say that? Because this is a psalm about sheep, the shepherd and his sheep. We are the sheep. It is by no mistake that God relayed us or made us call us sheep, because we tend to not even think about what we need, but God knows, and so He takes care of these needs. Many times we don't even know we have them. Again, it starts out, "The Lord is my shepherd." David started writing this psalm, and with these first 5 words is the key to this whole chapter. The Lord is my shepherd. not saying the Lord should be my shepherd, or I think the Lord is my shepherd. He's saying emphatically, the Lord is my shepherd. No doubt in my mind, the Lord is my shepherd and no one else. The Lord is the one who takes care of me and no one else. There's others that may try, but the Lord is the one and the only one I can always count on to be there for me. And so we need to understand that David starts out with a very positive, very strong statement when he says, the Lord is my shepherd. He goes on to say, I shall not want. We look at this statement, I'm sure the punctuation is the same in your Bible as it is in mine. It says, the Lord is my shepherd, then you got a semicolon, then I shall not want. What does that semicolon mean? Now see, I was not very good at English. English is one of my weak points in school. Bonnie's mother was big on English. And so the children, all the children in her family had to speak good English. They used to good the punctuations and whatever, all that stuff. Me, I just got by with speaking. I never tried to, well, I had to try Spanish in school, but never wanted to learn new language because I'm still struggling with English. But when I went to college to get my degree, I had to take an English course. And you know what? I enjoyed it. That surprised me that I enjoyed it, but I did. But it's in that the teacher, it was a female teacher, professor we had, she would teach us different things. And when you look at the semicolon's purpose is to take one complete sentence and take a second complete sentence. And because they're related in some way or form, the semicolon shows you that they're related. Joins them together as one sentence instead of two separate ones. They could be two separate ones and it would work. But because they reflect on each other, there's a semicolon in it. And that's what we got here with this first verse here. The Lord is my shepherd, semicolon, I shall not want. I shall not want because the Lord is my shepherd, is what you could say. I shall not want because the Lord is my shepherd. So David says here, I shall not want. That word shall means not just now, not just in the past, but in the future. I shall not. There's not going to be a time that I need to want. Because the Lord is my shepherd, I shall never want. Alright? God will supply my needs. God will take care of my needs. God will see that I have everything I need to live a successful life. And by the way, God is more important, as I said before, God is more interested in you being Christ-like than you will ever be interested in being more Christ-like. And so God will always supply us with what we need so that we can do that. I've said that before here, and I'll say it again. If you feel God is calling you into a ministry, maybe it's to go talk to your neighbor about the Lord Jesus Christ, or maybe it's to go and hand out tracts around the savannah, or to get up here and sing a solo. Now, believe me, you don't want me to do that. But whatever God is calling you to do, He will equip you to do it. If you are willing to take that step of faith and say, God, I hear God's going to use me to honor glory. We need to understand that our skills, our abilities, our way of doing, the ability to do things in a way that brings honor and glory to God is a gift from God to us. God equips us to do that. And so we see again, David says, starts out, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And he goes on to say, kind of elaborates on this a little bit, He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Let's stop there. He maketh me. It doesn't say he tries to get me to, it says He makes me lie down in green pastures. Now, I feel sometimes that you may be at a disadvantage in understanding what comes to my mind when I read this part of verse 2. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. What image comes to your mind when you think of green pastures? What comes to your mind? You know what comes to my mind? Field of clover. Field of alfalfa. Alfalfa and clover are both vegetation that animals eat. In fact, when I was a kid, I ate clover myself. Didn't eat the alfalfa so much. But we would go as kids and we would pick the clover and we would eat it. And we didn't die, it was all right. But in the States, when you think about this green field and pasture of green vegetation, clover, alfalfa, whatever, it's not high, it doesn't grow high, it's low to the ground, but it's very lush. And when you lay down on that, and I'm not lying, you may think I'm crazy, but when you lay down on that, it's like, almost like laying on a salt bed. Salt comfortable bed. That's how lush it is. It's a thick coverage. And you don't even feel the ground. Now, believe me, our ground is a little bit different than your ground here too. Like right now, you go out there and dig, and I've said to the people in the States already, especially during the dry season, you want to go out and you want to dig up your flower bed or your garden or whatever. During the dry season, you need to water it the day before so that you'll be able to dig it the next day. Because if you try to do it dry, it's like trying to dig into cement. I know walking in our yard at the house, I don't go barefoot many times, especially in the dry season, because it hurts my feet too much. But in the States, you don't have that so much. And the ground is just softer and it's smoother. Alright? So you got the lush green pastures with the smooth ground. You lay down in that and you can go to sleep. And many people do. They want to get alone, they want quiet, and they'll go out in the field and they'll just lay down. Take a rest. That's the image that comes to my mind. When it says here that he maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Now we're going to look at a second advantage here in a moment, but I want to do the rest of the verse first. It says, he leadeth me beside still waters. He leads me beside still waters. Here's something else we need to understand about the shepherd's song. The shepherd in this song, which was very common in this day, did not push the sheep along. You see, you watch movies, and the cattle, when they got cattle, and they're moving the cattle across country, or any animal, and they have their own horses many times, and they're riding behind it, and they got dogs running up, and the animals keep moving because the dogs are so noisy running up on them, and they got the horses to kind of keep them corralled together. That's not what we're talking about here. Here, the shepherd leads the sheep. He goes before the sheep. And too many people would say, well, that's craziness. How in the world are sheep going to move if you're not behind pushing them? It's because the sheep know the shepherd. They know his voice. And when they hear his voice, they are willing to follow him without reservation. Without reservation. A stranger goes up to the same sheep and starts to talk to them, and they won't do a thing. They won't move because they know that shepherd's voice. And they will only follow that shepherd. But that shepherd leads the sheep beside still waters, it says. Not a gushing flow of water, but beside the still waters. Now, when I think about that, what comes to my mind is a stream of fresh mountain water. Again, we have places in the States, in Pennsylvania, where we're from, and in those areas where the water comes down off the mountain, and they actually have spigots mounted in the ground that this fresh spring water can go in, down the pipe, and you can go there with a jug and open up the spigot and get fresh spring water to drink. It tastes amazing. And it is completely different than any bottled water you ever get, or any well water that you ever get, or any city water that you ever get. Fresh spring water is the best water by far. And so we're looking at that water. But the thing is, with sheep are very giddy animals. They scare very quickly. And so if it's a fast-flowing water supply, they won't go near it. They're scared of it. They're literally scared of it. They will die of thirst before they take a drink out of fast-running water. It has to be still waters. That's the only way sheep will drink. And so the shepherd, one of his responsibilities is he'll take and he'll put a dam upstream so that the water where the sheep are is still. It's still very fresh, it's cool, it's mountain water, but it's no longer moving so the sheep can drink, so the sheep will drink. And so that's what the shepherd does. The shepherd pours his life into these sheep as if they're children. He does everything he can do to help these sheep survive. And that's what we're looking at here. So as we look at this verse 2, it says that he maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. What's another understanding of this verse? God supplies our food and our water. God supplies what we need to take in for nourishment. Because like I said, the clover and the alfalfa and stuff, they grow it and give it to animals to eat. I mean, that's the main reason they don't grow it. But like I said, I eat clover too. It's not so bad. But we see here in this psalm that God supplies. So these sheep, not only do they walk into this pasture that the Savior or the shepherd leads them into the pasture so they can lay down. And by the way, sheep will not relax either. They will not lay down as long as they're scared. They will not lay down if they're scared. And so the shepherd leads them into a pasture, the green, lush pasture, where they can eat and where they can lie down and rest. And then he also leads them beside the waters so that they can drink, take in the nourishment of the water. That's much better than this. So we see God supplying the two basic needs of his sheep, and that is you and I. God supplies our basic needs. We understand that. What we need, God gives to us. Goes on to say in verse 3 then, he restoreth my soul. Now, as I was looking at this, I thought, okay, some people believe that the body and soul, that spirit and soul is basically the same thing. So say we're two parts, we're the body and we're spirit/soul. Other people believe that the body, the spirit, and the soul are three different parts of us. And that's where I'm at. Now, it's true that the spirit and the soul have many things in common, but there's some differences as well. I'm not going to get into that today. A lot of stuff can be said about that. But I just want to touch base on a few things that they say in my dictionary of theological terms. All right? When we look at the issue of soul, okay, usage of the term soul. Number one, the natural life of the body, and it has scriptures to support that. Number two, the immaterial part or invisible part of the man. Something that we've heard many times, the invisible part of who we are. Soul. Number three, the disembodied man. Again, kind of like the invisible part. Number four, the seat of personality. You ever think about that? The seat of personality. Why you are who you are. Alright? Number five, the seat of the sentient element in man, that by which he perceives, reflects, feels, and desires. In other words, he perceives. He takes in everything around about him. He perceives life. And it says he reflects. He takes those things and he ponders on them. He reflects on them. The soul does this, right? He feels. He has emotions in relationship to this, what he perceives and what he ponders on. And then it says his desires. We should abhor our desires because of this as well. Our soul does that. Our soul does that. Number six, the seat of will or purpose. Number seven, the seat of appetite. And then the next one, the inward man, the seat of a new life. We look at soul. Soul is so important to us. Spirit is some similarities to soul, as I said, but there are some differences as well. But what we need to understand is what you see here, like this, it's just the body. You can't see my soul. You can't see my spirit, but you can experience them. We do it all the time. We experience each other's soul and spirit because of what you do in light of what you take in, what you perceive, what you ponder upon, and then how you live it out. Our soul is very important. And so as we look at this, and it says, He restoreth, in other words, the Lord, restoreth my soul. He takes the very innermost part of you and me and restores it so we can continue to go on. He's the one that gives us the energy to take the next step. I can attest many times in my life, but the most recent again is relationships to this stairway out here. I was so drained physically, mentally, not emotionally, but with this stairway, getting it done in time. And I would go home at night, and I just want to collapse and do nothing. I was a zombie. There were people that were saying, "Hey, you forgot to do this. You forgot. I thought you were going to do this." And everything just went by the wayside because this was my life for that period of time. And it was during the nights when God would lead me to the green pastures and make me to lie down. And I would get the rest that I needed. God would then restore me. So the next day, I can go again. Some people don't understand the importance of sleep. Good sleep. We need it. Our bodies need it physically, we need it emotionally, we need it spiritually, we need it in every way. God restores us when we are able to lay down and relax and just let go of everything. That's when God works in us. And I don't think many of us understand how much God works in us when we don't know. But He does. It says that He restoreth my soul. He goes on to say, He leadeth me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. He restores our souls so that we can get up and live the life that God wants us to live. Why? So that He receives our reward. Our lives, our whole life, our whole being should be wrapped around how I reflect upon my Savior, my God. But yet, for most of us, it's, hey, I wonder what Tony thinks of me. No, does he think I'm a nut? What about Margaret? How does she perceive, hey, don't worry about Margaret. Don't worry about Tony. Worry about God. God is the one that we are standing for. The Lord Jesus Christ is the one that we are standing for and give an account for our lives today. They can do nothing to affect my eternal place, eternal state. Yeah, they can do something called harm and hurt. They cannot do nothing that is for eternal purpose, for eternity. God can and does. And so, we see here again that He leads me on paths of righteousness for His name's sake. When God leads you down a path, you say, God, this path is too narrow. God, this path is too curvy. I'm going to get sick. All these curves back and forth. And by the way, do that. Grace would do that to you. I'm going to get sick weaving back and forth. God, I can't do this. You don't understand. God is saying, let me take your hand off and wrap you. You understand what I'm saying? Let me have my way with you. Let me do what only I can do in you, so that my name is honored in your heart. And again, it's not about you and I. It's about how our lives reflect upon the Lord Jesus Christ, Father, and the Holy Spirit. By the way, if you shout God, you got the Holy Spirit already. All the time. All the time. God is with you all the time. Verse 4 says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So much in this verse. It says, though that I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, could be easily changed to the valley of troubles and sorrows, of trials, of tribulations, not just physical death. We talked about this when we were at the Hebrew Bible study on Monday night. We talked about the issue of physically dying from Genesis. I think we have spent 6 months, and I think we're on chapter 11 in Genesis. That's how slow it's there. But we talked about the issue of physical death in relation to dying to self. And how physical death, yes, is you give it all. It's a one-time thing. You give it all, it's done. But dying to self is an everyday thing. Every day I got to give up, I got to give up, I got to give up, I got to give up. And that can be very hard to do. But it says, though I walk through this valley of the shadow of troubles, death, whatever, I will fear no evil. I will fear no evil. Why? I'm glad you asked. It goes on to say, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. Again, you need to understand the significance of that statement. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Two instruments of the shepherd. He also had a slingshot too. Thy rod and thy staff. When a shepherd boy, when a young boy is going to be a shepherd for life, he's going to become a shepherd. Very early in his life, he'll go out into the woods and select a sapling, a small tree that he can fit his hand around. That's fairly straight. And what they'll do is they'll dig around the root ball of that tree. They won't cut it off. They'll dig around the root ball. Now pull it up out of the ground, roots and all. Then they take it home, and his father helps him with this, of course. Take it home and they shave off all those little roots running out from the ball. All right? But they keep the ball intact. It's very important to keep the ball intact. They smooth that ball out, and then you've got the shaft of the tree, and then you cut it off, whatever length is needed. And cut it off. And this is our rod that we're talking about. It's a tree trunk with the ball, the root ball, still attached on the bottom of it. And the boy will spend months and even years practicing throwing that thing, that object. Great distances, but to achieve accuracy. And through time, that boy will learn how to take that rod and to heave it across the road and hit a bullseye on that house across the street. Because he becomes so accurate at it. What's the purpose of this rod? It's to fight off the evil that the sheep are going to encounter. The wolves, the ones that want to cause harm to the animals and scare the animals. The shepherd can pull that rod out and he can sling that thing at that animal or whatever it is and boom, nail him. Every time. Because he's so good at it. The staff, that's the rod. The staff is the thing that we most see with shepherds. The stick with the hook on, very common. The shepherd will use that again. The staff is made for the boy, for his size. And so the staff is what the shepherd uses as he's leading the sheep along. And he always keeps his eyes on the sheep, all the sheep and what the sheep are doing. And if there's a sheep that's getting giddy, scared about something, he can walk up beside that sheep. Now, he can also speak to the sheep, but he can walk up alongside that sheep, and all she has to do is to lay that crook of the shaft, the staff, just lay it against the body. Not hit it. Just softly lay it against the body of the sheep, and the sheep will come right out. All the fear is just dissipate. Why? Because the sheep feels the shepherd close by and knows everything's going to be all right. He also uses the crook to, if a sheep gets in a hole or something, he can pick up the sheep and lift it out of that as well. But it's a thing to care for the sheep when they are in trouble. So the rod is something to protect the sheep when evil comes to them, and the staff is something to bring peace to the sheep when you're scared for whatever reason. Two of the most important tools that shepherds have. And it says right here that, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I will fear no evil. You and I can say that. We can say that. I will fear no evil. Why? Because thou art with me. The Holy Spirit lives within me. Thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. God has everything He needs to comfort us. I don't care if someone is pointing a gun at you, robbing you. I don't care what it is. God has everything He needs to take care of you. Alright? We understand that. The importance of that. There's only verse 5 what time it Verse 5 says, Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Again, we can talk a lot about this, and for the sake of time I won't do it. But it says, Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Think about this. God, Jehovah God, the Lord Jesus Christ, takes and they prepare abundant feast, if you want to call it that, blessings in our life, not in hiding. God doesn't say, okay, you meet me at home, and I'll bless you. No, He blesses us openly in the presence of our enemies. People may say this and that about you, about being a Christian, and you're. I can remember when I first was saved. My mother wasn't happy. My mother wasn't saved. And she thought I was crazy, she thought I was joining the cult, all this kind of crazy stuff. Because our family, even though they were good people, never went to church. My grandma and grandpa slept my dad's mom and dad did. But mother was just so concerned that I joined this cult. I'm going to go to the Community Bible Church. And it was only through time that she realized that it's not a cult. And it was interesting, and eventually, before she passed away, she accepted the Lord too as her Savior. But as we look at this, even in the midst of people ridiculing you and persecuting you, God prepares a table of blessings before you. We are an example of what God does for those He loves, for the world around about us. Now, anointest my head with oil. A couple meanings to this. I can remember just within the last year, I never heard this, and I've been here almost 14 years. Never really heard this until about the last year or so. Ashmer said about it, and some other people said about it. The use of coconut oil here in Trinidad, and how people used to put coconut oil in their hair, coconut oil in their skin, and I'm thinking, ew, oh, it's oil all over you. But I think it was actually said about it makes your skin so smooth and silky looking, and it's good for you. It's good for your scalp and all this stuff. And when in David's time they would use this oil for people of special, I don't want to say royalty, but someone that comes to your home and they're special guests, and they would put oil on their head as an act of reverence, not reverence, but acknowledgement of who they are, a special person. And so, now it has a different significance, a different meaning, very practical meaning when it comes to sheep, and I won't get into that at the same time. But it's something that is good for you. Anointing your head with oil. Thou anointest my head with oil. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. God's blessings are so abundant to me. I don't have I don't have something big enough to hold them all. It's amazing. You know, we with the church plant in St. Augustine, we were in the early stages of it. We were praying God would supply a place for us to meet, and eventually we were getting more focused on prayer for that. And I think it was we were in the States, and there was a guy preaching, and he said, "How much do you trust God to supply? To supply what your heart's desire is, if it's godly." But he said, "Do you walk up to God with a cup and say, 'God, fill this for me'? Or do you walk up to God with a bucket, a cement bucket, let's say you say, everyone knows what a cement bucket is, and say, 'God, fill this for me'? Or do you walk up to God with a 55-gallon drum and say, 'God, fill this for me'?" How much faith do you have in your God? How much faith do you have that your God can fill? And so many times we as Christians say, "God, can you please fill this cup for me?" And God's over saying, "I don't want to fill the cup, this cup. I want to fill a 55-gallon drum. Ask me in faith believing for a 55-gallon drum, because that's the blessings I'm going to give you." Or the tank back here, what is it, 650 gallon? Whatever, I don't know the tank. Is that what you bring to me, or do you bring this to me? David's saying here, "My cup runneth over." God is supplying so much blessings for me and me that I cannot hold it all here. I need to have a bigger container. When your cup flows over, how much benefit is that water that flows over the ground? Now there's a thing called 5-second rule. Did you ever hear the 5-second rule? Yeah. Now it usually refers to food, not liquid. But the 5-second rule, now don't judge me on this. But the 5-second rule is that if you have something, say like I was eating carrots the other day, and you drop a carrot on the ground, if you pick it up within 5 seconds, it's okay to eat. Now after 5 seconds on the ground, pitch it. There you go. That's the 5-second rule. And so we have our cup here, and God is pouring blessings and pouring blessings and pouring blessings, and it's just overflowing because we can't hold it all. And what I'm saying is, what about all this that we're losing, that we're not taking in, that we're not enjoying? God is giving. Do you realize God blesses you every day? Many times every day. And we don't even know it. We don't even understand it. We don't recognize it. We don't acknowledge it, that God is doing this for us. The small things in life. Let me give you an example of one that just happened today to me. I came into the church, and I think it's a stadium. Made me sick. That's why I stood outside most of the time. I was going to throw up. I felt so sick in my stomach. I was out there praying, "Lord, help me through this. Help me through this. I need to preach. Help me through this." And I'll be honest with you. I came up here. I was walking up. The smell was getting to me. So I started preaching. And it just disappeared. And my stomach feels fine now. Now, once I'm done preaching, I know what's going to happen. That God blessed me. I've given me the ability to, however, tune out the smells. Whatever it is, I don't know. But my cup runneth over. Let's stop just taking a cup of God. Let's start taking a bucket of 55 gallon. Let's say, God, give me these blessings. And then the last verse says, "Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." I will dwell in the house. I will be with God forever and ever. The blessings that God has given me, it's only for right now that they're going to continue on even past death. And they're going to be even greater. Can you imagine it's going to be like to be in heaven and standing before the Lord Jesus Christ and with brothers and sisters around the world singing praises unto God? Now, what language are you going to sing? That probably won't be English. we are going to be one, and we are going to be praising God side by side forever and ever. Now, is that all we're ever going to do in heaven? No, I don't believe that at all. But that's going to be an aspect of it. We are going to truly understand for the first time in our lives what it means to worship God in spirit and in truth. We try to do it here on earth. We try to do it here on earth. You go to this church, they do it this way. You go to this church, they do it this way. And this church says they're hypocrites because of the way they worship. And they say these people are too liberal. And you got the liberals, you got the conservatives, and they bicker and they bicker and bicker about how we worship God. If you need to stand out in front of a tree, underneath a tree, raise your hands and sing praises unto God, if that's how you worship God, praise the Lord! Praise the Lord! I can guarantee you there are churches that support us here in Trinidad as missionaries in the States, that if we went in there and we did this in their church, they'd say, hey, you're not our kind, we need to support somebody else. Alright? You do this,